Hi, y'all. How's everyone doing? Good? So my name is Christina Kimbrough, and I am the founder of Free Life LLC. We are a non-alcoholic mobile bar and bottle shop in Ghent. Today, I'm going to be talking about rethinking the role of alcohol in corporate culture. So I kind of told you a little bit about what we do, but it was born when I got sober. I am 5 years sober from an addiction to alcohol. And in that time, I found it was really hard to connect, to network, to socialize. I worked in fundraising and politics in particular. And when you don't drink, everyone's like, why aren't you drinking? It's very awkward to answer, right? And so I really wanted to solve a problem in the market by providing delicious non-alcoholic beverages to the Hampton Roads area. So why I don't drink, I said a little bit, but it was a coping mechanism for me. I got sober in early 2020, which was wild. My sober date is February 4th, and if we know what came next was, everyone knows, okay, COVID. So I was in treatment, and they said there's this thing called COVID. It's gonna be around for a week. And I was like, oh, okay. And we socially distanced, and then after I got out of treatment, I spent that first year, it was lockdown. So anyone remember lockdown? We weren't doing much, right? And so I thought, oh, I've got this. I know how to socialize. I'm good. Well, things opened up in 2021. And I was like, oh, wait, I don't know how to people. Does anyone struggle with peopling? It can be a little hard. And I realized that I used alcohol to people, to live, to talk, to socialize. And so I didn't know what or how to do, I was sober, made the decision. So I started looking for people that don't drink. And I have a mutual friend who had a meetup on the Meetup app that for people that don't drink. And we met in Cafe Stella, and it blew up to 500 people organically. And I was like, what is this? And so we are a social impact company. We do events for people and build culture for people that don't drink. And then the bar was born simply after that. Someone came up to me and said, could you do a non-alcoholic mobile bar? And I was like, oh, what? Because it didn't exist. And so in true entrepreneur form, I bootstrapped my way there and got a bottle shop or a bar, and now a bottle shop in Maison Soleil, which we will hit a little bit later. Next slide. So alcohol in corporate culture, just a brief history. I will not bore you guys with history facts, but I thought this was interesting. How did we get here? So post-World War II, 3 martini lunches became status symbols. So after World War II, we were getting back on our feet. Money, we were finally having money. We were able to go out. We weren't as focused on the war. And so alcohol became, in part because of Big Elk marketing, a status symbol to have, red wine or martini lunches. And so it became the norm to day drink. And so then we can fast forward to the 80s and the 90s, and happy hours equaled team bonding. Who here drinks at work, right? We know that it's just a common thing to do, and the pressure is there whether you want to drink or not. And then we go to where we are today. Events, trade shows, client gifts are often alcohol-centric. Hospitality and events industry, especially reliant on alcohol. So I'm here to tell you, I am not anti-alcohol. I will never have a sip of alcohol again in my life. I'm in recovery. I'm not anti-alcohol. What I am here to tell you is you'll see the non-alc industry is booming, but we need better options. We need options for people that are sober, that may not drink for wellness issues. But the thing is, we're missing a huge customer segment in Hampton Roads. So somewhere along the way, alcohol became synonymous with celebration, networking, and reward. But we've rarely paused to ask, is it still serving us? The hidden cost of alcohol culture. What is it costing us? I thought this was interesting. 1 in 5 workers reports drinking during the workday when working remotely. Substance use costs employers $81 billion annually, and alcohol is a group 1 carcinogen, same class as asbestos. It affects our sleep, productivity, judgment, and mental health. We talk about wellness and inclusion and innovation, but then we default to drinks. We're unintentionally excluding people and impacting performance. Here, I want to stop and talk about a term called zebra striping. Has anyone heard of zebra striping? So zebra striping is a new term. It's not getting rid of the alcohol, but it's having one NA drink and an alcoholic drink. So I'm not here to say take away the alcohol from your events. You'll never find me saying that. In fact, I pop up next to bars all the time. I'm around alcohol all the time. But it's just showing people that there's multiple options, and it is so fun. We'll let you guys taste everything you see up here. But there are good, delicious options that we need to be having at all of our events. So the shift is already happening. A new era is emerging. This is fun. So this is at the Pagoda. If anyone knows, we do a monthly happy hour at the Pagoda downtown Norfolk, all non-alcoholic. It's delicious, so fun. But Gen Z drinks 20% less than millennials. I'm a millennial. But they're drinking less. And NA drink sales are up 31% year over year. And then the non-alcoholic spirits category is projected to hit 10 billion globally by 2030. Sober, curious, and mindful drinking movements are exploding. I love the term mindful drinking. You don't have to identify as sober curious, or anything. Mindful drinking is just questioning our relationship with alcohol. What does it look like? How much are we drinking and why? This is no longer niche, it's mainstream. People want options. They want to feel good, included, and connected. So self-reflection, personal questions to ask. Let's get curious. So you can just think, I'm just going to go through and think these through in your mind, but how often am I drinking in work-related spaces? When was the last time I attended an event without alcohol? Do I feel pressure to drink, to connect, or succeed professionally? What's my relationship to alcohol today? Do I need alcohol to succeed in my career? Why or why not? Have I felt pressure to drink at work events? I know I did. I can absolutely stand here and say that was a part of my addiction issue. So I presented like this when I was in active addiction. I presented very well, and I'd start with the 2 drinks, but then afterwards I'd go out, and I know we've all had those drunken nights with coworkers. And again, not saying that we shouldn't drink, but can we self-assess? And I think it's just time that we can all, examine our relationship with alcohol. So company culture audit. Is alcohol serving your team? Are all employees comfortable at happy hours? Are non-drinkers fully included? Are there alternatives to alcohol-based bonding? Is your event culture accessible, inclusive, and healthy? Rethinking alcohol strategies. So what's good for one person might not be good for all. The best leaders design cultures that work for everyone. So here's just some practical shifts we can make rethinking the default. So alcohol has always been the default. And again, I'm not saying we need to take it away, but I think it's time we can reshape and rethink how we do corporate. Always include high quality NA options. Please, for the love of God, not soda. If I get offered another Diet Coke at an event, although I do love a good DC. Host some dry events or morning gatherings. I promise you, if you network without alcohol, no one will die. I have said this over and over. When you network, sometimes it can feel awkward, but I've said, you know what? No one's died from an awkward moment yet that I know of. Create rituals that don't revolve around alcohol. Walks, coffee chats, wellness activities, a non-alcoholic happy hour. Normalize turning down a drink without explanation. This is a huge one. I still get it. Even now when I say I'm sober, well, why aren't you drinking? If someone says they're not drinking, let's just respect it and move on. So it's not about being against alcohol, as I've said. It's about being for people. We're not anti-alcohol, we're just pro-awareness. Alcohol should be an option, not a requirement. Rethinking our relationship with alcohol can lead to stronger teams, better events, healthier people, and more connection. And honestly, I want to say deeper connection because you're actually present for the conversation. So here's some quick industry trends and exciting stats. The rise of the NA industry. 65% of consumers want better NA options at events. Dry weddings and dry bars. Yes, that's the whole thing. Has anyone been to a non-alcoholic bar or heard of a dry bar? They actually have one downtown Portsmouth, actually. Yep, fully dry. So major players like Heineken, Athletic Brewing are investing heavily into this space. It's not a fad, it's the future, and we have a chance to lead the way. So what Free Life offers, let's build a culture together. So we have a mobile non-alcoholic bar. So I bartend events. I've done everything. I say, gosh, from a baby shower to Pride Fest. We have sober bartenders with liquor, so we can custom create non-alcoholic cocktails. So we do custom drink curation, and then we do non-alcoholic wholesale for venues, restaurants, or office, and then corporate workshops on mindful consumption, which is similar to what you do. I public speak as well. And then this is where I'd like to introduce Lindsay. She's amazing. She has a store on Collie called Maison Soleil, and we are partnering, and I have just launched a non-alcoholic bottle shop inside of her store on Collie, if you want to say something really quick.
Just real quick about what the store is about. We started out entirely women-owned products. We shifted to include everyone, but everything still is handmade and ethically sourced. And we'll be having our 3rd anniversary party on July 13th, which is a Sunday.
Yep.
And Christina will also be hard launching her bottle shop there too. So.
Yep, so if you want to come get some tasty drinks. So it's all about mindful consumption and just putting our dollars where it matters and giving back into the community to small women-owned businesses. Thank you. And that's it. So if you'd love to get in contact with me, my business is Free Life LLC. That's my email and then cell phone, and I'll be around to chat. And then we can taste some delicious beverages. Thank you guys so much.